We need to maybe just turn that over a little bit. And down a little bit.
Alright, there we go.
Oh, it's a little bit.
What have you done to it?
It's fine. Just. Sorry, don't mind us, guys. Alright, yeah, that's looking good enough. Hello, everyone. So, welcome to Tim's PC, where I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also, live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you'd like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it get put together live, send me a message today. Alright, so we've got a good one on tonight. We have an RTX 4090 build, white, going in a Lian Li Dynamic 11. So we had the same graphics card the other night with the height Y60 case, and now we're putting the same card but in the D11. So happy days. It's gonna be a great looking build. The only thing that we don't have is we don't have a strimmer for the motherboard. So that might be one other small upgrade for the future. Unfortunately, they're out of stock bloody everywhere. I got my friend sending me up one from Newcastle. So yeah, that's how desperate I am for them. Because I've got a customer who's getting the Y60 one. He's getting a screen for it as well, and he's also getting the 24-pin strimmer cable for his motherboard. So anyway, it's not important. It doesn't affect the performance, and we have all white cables here from our power supply. So look, let's go through the specs. We have the awesome 7800X 3D 8-core 16-thread CPU. This is an excellent CPU for gaming. It's very expensive, $650, but I mean, realistically, you get what you pay for. This chip here pairs completely fine with an RTX 4090, keeps up 100%, no problems there whatsoever. We're going to be putting it on this very nice whitish looking ROG motherboard, which is a B650 ROG. It's called the Creator motherboard. Like, realistically, it's got what? It's got like 10 USB ports, optical out, 2.5 gigabit LAN, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.1. So, you know, it's got a lot of good features, but we'll have a look at that when we unbox it. We've got a 1TB Gen 4 NVMe SSD. It's a crucial P5 Plus. We have a kit of memory here. What have we got? 6000 megahertz CL30, so ultra fast RAM there. And we have our AMD Expo logo there on it, so we should be good for that. We have our RTX 4090. Obviously, it's the ROG STRIX one in white. We have a Cooler Master V850 power supply there, the white edition. This is a really good quality unit. Comes with a 10-year manufacturer's warranty, so that's the best level of warranty that you can get on a power supply. We do have the streamers here for the graphics card. We've got our Lian Li D11 case there. We've got some extra fans, and we've got a 360mm cooler here. So we've just got a Thermaltake TH360 going in there. And that is our PC. So look, in terms of what the money's been spent on, we're talking like 75% of the cost of this build is in these two parts here. The RTX 4090 and the 7800X 3D. The rest of the stuff is kind of trivial in comparison to these two parts. So we got a $300 motherboard, we got a $170 kit of RAM, $100 SSD, $170 power supply, $80 cable extender, you know, $60 packs of fans, $150 cooler, $200 case, then a $3,300 graphics card, and a $650 CPU. So you can see, like, you add up all the numbers there. Like, we're talking a small fraction on the actual parts, and then most of the cost is actually just these two parts. So yeah, PC's definitely getting expensive. See, I sometimes get a question, and I get asked by people a lot of time, like by young kids and parents and stuff. I get the question, is this an awesome gaming PC, or is this a good PC, or is this a great PC? And it's really hard for me to answer with words like that, because what one person calls great, another person might call shit. So it gets a little bit strange, and it's like, oh, what do I call a great gaming PC? So if you want to know what I call a great gaming PC, well, we're sort of looking at the specs of it right here. I'm expecting something like this if I say a great gaming PC. So when someone asks me and they've got a budget of, say, under $2,000, I have to sort of tell them that, you know, what you've got there is, like, you know, it's a more mid-range PC. It's not like super high end. I know it seems like it's really expensive, and I understand that PCs are fairly expensive relatively, but yeah, you've got to understand that a graphics card like this 4090 for over 3.3 grand, that drives up the cost of this stuff considerably. So if you want the top tier of performance there with RTX 4090, you will spend a lot of money on that. So just FYI, there's no, when you see the prices for the RTX 4090 cards, there's not really too much wiggle room in those prices, okay? Retail margins usually less than 10%, and that's if you buy in bulk. So there is hardly any money in parts. I basically sell parts at cost. So, you know, I don't have time to maintain a website and all the pricing and stuff like that. I don't have time for that. I'm one guy, you know. I try to do quotes and do repairs and mobile calls and the live streams. You know, I'm pretty busy doing all that. So anyway, let's get stuck right into it. Stop fucking yapping on, because it's already pretty late tonight. Okay. So we get all sorts of goodies in here. Oh, look, we get the little noise speaker sensor. So if your ears are completely shot and you need to know how loud your PC is, you plug that in, you'll be able to know how loud your PC is. What else do we get here? What's this? What the hell? I'm trying to work out what this cable is. So they've given us this cable here that looks like it's DisplayPort on both ends, and check this out. I'm gonna come over. Has anyone seen this before? We're gonna have to look this up. I don't know what the fuck this is.
It's a fucking DBN. It's like a tiny cable for your graphics card for some reason.
I'm genuinely interested. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Like, there's obviously something there that I don't know about. That's always fun. I like learning new stuff. Alrighty. So that's a very nice looking motherboard there. Alright, so what have we got? Let's have a look. 3, 5, 7. Yep, 7. Okay, so we got 7 fan headers. Obviously our LGA 1700 socket there. 12 pins of CPU power. We've got multiple RGB ports. We've got 3 up there, 2 down there. Got a nice button there for on off on the motherboard, say if you wanted this to be a test bench or something like that. What do we got there? Is that it's a flash BIOS button. USB-C, Thunderbolt. That's where you plug in this one here next to Thunderbolt is where you plug in your noise sensor. You got you got 4 SATA ports. You got a USB 3 horizontally orientated, 2 USB 2s, COM, front panel audio. What have we got here? 1, 2, 3 M2s. No, there's 4, I think. There's 3 under there and 1 under there. And then we just got PCIe X16, PCIe X4 and PCIe X1 there. Then around the back we got optical out, 2.5 gigabit LAN, 10 USB ports,
No,
1
that
Type
cable.
C. Sorry?
That cable that you had. Sorry.
If you can tell me, yeah, if you can tell me what that cable is, I would be very, very interested. So yeah, I think I went over the rear I/O earlier. So yeah, it's a pretty good motherboard, but hopefully Christine's sleuthing skills are up to it. Because I mean, it looks to me like I'm meant to plug one end into the graphics card and one end into the motherboard.
Yeah, you
But
are.
what's it do?
Extended connectivity. It's for something called Vision Link. It's for
Vision Link, okay. I think I've heard of that. Post a link in the live chat for people. Okay. So in terms of our RAM, like I say with our DDR5 RAM, make sure that you check and see what manufacturer it's made for. It might be for it might be for both manufacturers. This kit apparently is for AMD and Intel, so that makes it nice and easy. However, not all kits are the same, so make sure you double check that, because I guarantee you won't have a good time if you buy the wrong kit of RAM, because you'll get it and you'll think, oh yep, it's going to run at this speed, and then you're gonna actually get it and realize, oh we're not running at that speed. We can only run at the stock speed, and that'll be very disappointing. Alright, so all of this heatsink here is just coming off as one big piece. And no, it's not dual, sorry, it's not 4 M2s, it's actually only 3. So just FYI. We do have a CNVI module strapped to the board there for our Wi-Fi. I kind of like that, having the CNVI out there on the board, just because just because it's a little bit easier to upgrade. Like once new standards of Wi-Fi are released, you could probably, you know, upgrade the Wi-Fi card in this to stay current. That could be very important for some people. Now, I'm an idiot and I peeled off the wrong bit of sticky, but that's okay. Okay. CPU time. So, like I said, this is an awesome CPU for gaming. It's very expensive, and like I say to people, if your budget's not really high, you should really prioritize the graphics card more so than the CPU. A lot of people I deal with for computer quotes, they all have, like, everyone's got PTSD from like 10 years ago, where like if you wanted to do anything half decent with your computer, you needed to have an i7 as a minimum and stuff like that. And people don't realize that it's not really like that anymore. The average person is quite alright with cheaper hardware these days, or not the not the name equivalent of, you know, stuff from 10 years ago. It doesn't really have any bearing. Like I say to people, the branding is only relevant within the generation, or at least within a generation that's followed up by a revision generation. Then you can sort of make comparisons between them. But in general, the i5, i7, i9 thing only matters within that generation. Once the new generation launches, it's pretty common for lower tier CPUs to have the same performance as the higher tier ones in the previous generation. So you got to remember that things keep moving in the tech world. It doesn't sort of just stay the same or anything like that. It's not cylinders on your car, for example. It's not like, you know, getting the i7s like the V8 and the... Oh, maybe it is like cars, because, you know, you can get really fast, quick off the mark 4-cylinder cars with like twin turbos and stuff like that. And then you could have a big V8 and it's, you know, actually a bit slow off the mark and all that. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm just talking too much shit right now, so let's get stuck into getting the cooler. I mean, we bought...
plug in one side into the motherboard display and then the other side goes into the display port into the graphics card.
Okay. I don't know if I'll do that, because I feel like that's the sort of thing that's going to introduce instability into the system. Like, I always prefer, you know, from a simplicity perspective, it's always best to keep things.
Side to plug in first into the motherboard and the other one into the graphics card.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking about, how it's wired in there. I'm like, that's an interesting. And yeah, it's directional, so it has to be the right way around. Okay, so for this cooler here, we need to change the plate. We don't have pre-applied thermal compound. So you don't want to scratch the bottom of this plate, just FYI. Alright, and so we're going to be using the stock standard mounting brackets from the AMD CPU there. Sorry, from the AMD motherboard, I should say. That means we're using this lovely bracket right here. Now, I swear I had some open thermal paste. Yeah, I did. Right here. It's like, I thought I had that. So use some of this thermal. So there's no perfect pattern for putting thermal paste down, as long as it's spread relatively evenly. You don't need to get out there with one of those stretchers, sorry, one of those what would you call that, like squeegee things for the thermal paste, and get it all even over the surface. Once you press it down, it gets pretty flat. And then once it heats up, it also sort of becomes more the viscosity increases. Okay, so basically our radiator is going to be in the case. We're going to have it like this. So our fans will come down here. So we have our fans there with the cables coming out this way. So make sure you double check that. You don't want to put your fans on and then have to take them off and put them on again. That kind of sucks. Double and triple check. And so what I'd like to do with the fans is get a couple of bolts opposite corners and just try and line them up and start threading them down just with the grip of your thumb. Even if you just twist it till it can't be turned no more, it'll at least hold it in place. And you can just go ahead and drop the other screws in place without having to worry too much about the fans. Alright. So what you want to do with these is you're going to be running all of these cables down the same pathway. So if you're doing that, the easiest way, especially when you're doing a D11, is to separate them out and just tie them down together. Okay, and so we're just left with these ones here. There we go. So that is our board and cooler all prepped and ready to go. So we can now turn our attention to the case. So power supply is one of the last things that we look at with a D11. We get pretty much everything else in place first for this one. Alrighty, so this panel comes off. Okay.
Like having a pool and going, yeah, I don't want that anymore, and just building a deck over the top of it is what these people have found at their house, and they're like, let's renovate the pool. Yeah. I'd hate the smell that would have created.
Oh, I know. Would have been like a swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody hell.
It was hidden underneath the deck for 20 years.
Oh, damn, that's a chunky boy, eh? Okay, so that's our case here. So first things first. Yeah. So thing with these fans is they've got to be daisy chained together. So basically what that means is we've got these cables and one plugs in to the next one.
Nothing now.
Just like that. And then we plug in this extension because we're going to chain them together with some other fans as well. These fans here that we're putting in, they go in the intake position. So that means they're face down. So the back side of the fan should be facing upwards. And you want this to go on the bottom because it just makes sense to have cool air being drawn in the bottom and blown straight on your graphics card, which a lot of the time is the hottest component in your computer. So always handy to have, you know, cool air from outside the case blowing on it. And then the second reason is the CPU cooler is going to be mounted to the top, so all the heat from the CPU is going to be exhausted out the back of the case. And then there's 3 other fans on the sidewall which are also in the exhaust position. But because they don't blow directly out of the case or suck directly into the case, they sort of don't, they're not as good at pushing air, if that makes sense. So those 3 on the side aren't as efficient, I guess we could say, at moving air as the 3 on the bottom and the 3 on the top attached to our radiator. So just FYI with the configuration of a D11, because it's a little bit different to other PC cases. If you've built PCs before but not this case, it is a little bit different. Don't be ashamed if you're watching a live stream like mine to see the best way to do it, because it'll probably save you a bit of time. So if your fans are tied down nice and tight on the bottom, you'll have good sort of static pressure and they'll draw in a lot of air.
Oh, cool. That's good. A daughter is teamed up with Micron, and they're trying to make engineering more appealing to females, and they've gone to a high school and done like a talk with like an assembly.
Oh yeah, cool.
Taipei. It's at a girls' high school.
Yep,
That's
yep.
pretty cool. I like that. There should be more girls in tech.
Yes.
It's a very male-dominated industry.
It is, but it's also a very male-dominated market.
Yeah.
A woman is
changing.
much more likely to go, oh, I'll just get myself an Apple. That's your average. That's
But
still.
it's changing. It's changing.
It's changing, but it's still very much that. Alrighty. And so yeah, just bend those cables down so it fits nice and flush there at the back. The fans look nice. These deep cool ones even look good from the back there. All white cables, nice white discrete stickers there on the back. You know, to the untrained eye, probably not even going to notice that they're around the other way. But we always put these fans on that direction in our D11 builds. So if it really annoys you, you can just get some circular stickers about the same size and put a couple of your own custom stickers down if the back of the fan kind of annoys you. But there's limited codes and stuff like that. Like I said, you know, the stickers are quite nice. They've got a bit of a sheen to them. I don't think most people are going to notice that. Alright, so now we've got our next group of fans. And so like I said, these ones are going on the side wall. And so just like the other ones, I'm going to run these from the other direction because that will look neater. Good one. Just chuck it away. Doesn't matter.
Voice. Those poor people. They'll try to fix a block of sewage drain, and it, like, once they released the drain, it backed up and exploded all over the road.
Okay, so all of those fans are chained together. Now we plug that in, and then all this stuff here goes to the motherboard. So nice and easy there. So we've got all of our fans installed there. So now we can look at actually getting a motherboard inside the case and our cooler strapped to the roof. So obviously no rear I/O shield. We've got a built-in one on this motherboard, like all of the more expensive motherboards have. We've got a hole here and a couple of holes up here. I like to actually leave this bit here completely blank. I have a little joke to myself. I call this the amateur holes, and then these ones up here I call these the expert holes.
Ah, jeez.
Yes, yes. That's what it's. That's how it goes through my head. All right. I know. It's very good indeed. Let me just drop that one there for a sec. Okay. Fluffy cat strikes again, apparently. Are you right?
Yeah, he knocked the modem out the window, and then he knocked the other modem down behind the TV. He's a dumb cat. He's dumb.
Okay. Okay, that looks PC, so it's not falling off the bloody lazy Susan. Alright, so okay. Okay, what is that sitting on? God, I hate it when you get something stuck underneath it. Okay, so we separate the fans here from the other and so it's really simple. We run the splitter cable to the motherboard. We can plug in these guys over here. And yep, that's it, just like that. Just put one tie around them. And they can be tucked away up the top there. Okay, and so same for this piece RGB. elements. Oh, wrong way. And we've already got one plugged into the motherboard, so we can daisy chain these onto that. So that'll make life a little bit easier. And much the same, we can just put another cable tie around this. This is all RGB. And so it's not too hard to sort of do work on with just a single bunch of each. So they can just sit up there. As long as you can access it. I like to group similar things together with just like one cable tie around it. That way when something happens and you have to work on it, it's nice and easy. You don't have to sit there and cut out cable ties, and yeah, you just don't want to introduce those kind of problems. Okay, so the only thing we have to plug in is this one here for our Cooler Master, sorry, our deep cool fans. The peripherals. Over here we have our front panel connectors. We chuck this audio sensor on just to see. Okay, so we've even got a little audio sensor up the back here. How crazy is that? Can you go needed some SATA ports, like some SATA cables installed for him?
Who is it?
Scroll down. Scroll up. I think you're not going past him. Yeah, I think so.
Two SATA drives.
He's got two SATA drives. Okay, no worries.
That'd be a cool thing to go check out in South Korea, the Banho Grand Bridge. It has a water fountain that measures 1,100. It doesn't look like it covers the whole bridge, the fountain. It's really pretty. Check this out.
Nice.
Oh, okay, along the length of the bridge there's 380 nozzles that send 54 tons of water cascading 43 meters horizontally and 20 down into the river every minute. That's pretty cool. It literally dances to 100 different pieces of music. That's cool.
Okay. So that's coming along, right? It's looking pretty much done, right? Alright, so power supply. Good quality power supply here. You get a little pouch for your cables, and your power supply comes in its own little drawstring bag. So, how fancy is that? About the only thing this power supply doesn't have plus 4-pin connection. So we're going to need a SATA cable. We're going to need some power. We need a couple of them. obviously our motherboard. It's one you definitely need to plug in. And yes, you need to plug in both cables there. And CPU and CPU. And then the rest of this stuff is extra. So we'll fill up a little bag of goodies there for you. Little extras and inclusions and things like that. So nothing in the bag is like stuff you need other than like your power cord and your Wi-Fi antenna. But I'll include some bits and pieces that I've got lying around that may help you at a later date.
Show. Posts, people will post.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes. That's vertical fans as intake.
What was that? Sorry.
Personally, I would flip the vertical fans as intake.
Why would you go intake on the vertical fans? Because the reason I do it like this is because it looks better. And the ones on the wall there are a little bit inconsequential. Fundamentally, it's 3 in, 3 out. And the radiator restricts the 3 on the top a little bit, so the ones...
And from between 1910 and 1912, he was stuck in Antarctica with an inexperienced crewmate.
Oh yeah, that's fucked. And the other one of the guys there, he died because he killed and ate his own dog, and he ate all the dog's liver. Their liver like that.
Mm-hmm. Once a polar bear broke into their cabin in the middle of winter, and they had to fight it off with only an axe while they frantically tried so they could shoot it. These poor dudes.
Mm-hmm.
This was in the Arctic.
Yeah.
Live on a hot island, and I'm always concerned about it getting enough air intake from the GPU.
Yeah, but the thing is, the fans on the bottom are the intake, so they...
That's drawn out up the top.
Yeah. Alright, and then one final cable tie here around all the power cables. Use a bigger one for this. Oh, don't want to forget about our addressable cable. Yes, we might want that.
That's really flattering.
Um,
Z2 with a whopper.
The Whooper Whopper. There's always something that gets you right at the end, right?
We're coming into summer, but look at Perisher today.
Ah, yeah. Unseasonable snow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's ready to plug our graphics card in. Yeah.
Brendan wants to know what brand is the strimmer.
Lian Li.
He says it doesn't look like the Lian Li ones.
It is the Lian Li ones. It's the Strimmer V2.
Now,
Okay. Graphics card time. So this is one freaking massive card. There's 2 layers of sticky on some bits.
What?
Yeah. Multi-layered.
I like feeling sticky, but I don't. Why multi-layer?
Yeah, no, it's definitely the streamers, man. Yeah, it is. It is really nice.
Bloody hell! It's like a fistful of plastic. But this is an Asus card. You can tell by how massive it is.
Yeah. Have to make it like fuck off big.
Does it like fit with glass on? That looks like it's going to be a tight fit cable.
Yeah, we'll be right.
Oh, fucking hell.
Is gonna have to go in. See, the cable at the end, or the connection on the end here, is directional, so you need to come in from the right angle. And in this case, it is upside down from what is expected. Let me just swap these connectors around. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. Now we should probably test it before we go too much further.
No sag to the GPU without using the sag bracket assembly mods.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can always. They do give you this little thing that you can put under it, but I mean, I generally don't bother with them. Some people like get the shits, but realistically, what normally bends is this bit of metal at the back. The card itself is like solid. It's got this big solid radiator on it and stuff like that. The actual PCB of the card is just like that bit there. This is just radiator on the edge there. But the whole thing is kind of solid. It's not like they bend. People freak out about it, but you know, there's plenty. Because they're bent and they just accept the return and replace it with another one. They just bend it back in shape because there's nothing wrong with the card. They can't return it to the manufacturer because they'll send it straight back and be like, nothing wrong with it. So yeah, once you realize that, it's like, what's the point? Whereas they put these things in there, it's a marketing thing. It makes their customers like happy with the purchase. If they don't put it in there, then they'll hear one behavior, human psychology. Alright, so I can press the little power button there if I want, but I'm going to test the power button on the case. So first things first, we've got our RAM, we've got our graphics card. That looks like a post.
Yes.
Sexy does that look? And we don't even have the motherboard strimmer. That is bloody awesome. Yeah.
Brendan says there's not much room between the GP and glass. Like that newer model of the 011 must be different. Mine's way more room than that.
Yeah, so the Evo will have a little bit more room, depth-wise. You do have enough to fit it in there. So it's just a tiny bit of the sleeved cable that sort of sits up next to the glass, but it won't prevent you from putting the glass on, if that makes sense. So it comes out roughly to the lip of the case there, but the glass panel actually sits on in front, so there's actually another couple of mils of space there. In terms of the graphics card, we got cool air from outside the case blowing straight up onto it. Having it closer to the glass there is not going to cause a problem for thermals, but we can check all that when we're stress testing it and stuff. Can I get a BIOS, Mrs. BIOS babe? She found her BIOS babe shirt.
I need to make a couple more of them.
Yes. Alrighty, and that's what it looks like there with the back panel on. So it cleans up nice and tidy. Like I said, when you do your cabling, because they give you all this room at the back there, don't overcomplicate it for yourself, okay?
No,
You'll do it once, you'll tie it down all beautiful, you make it look beautiful both sides, and then there'll be one time when you'll have to change something, and then you're gonna regret your decision. Okay, so what do we got here? We got F4. What version was that, babe? F9D.
F9D.
There was another one with the same hex value.
Oh.
I'm like, huh? Okay, so while we're waiting, I'll chuck a few more bolts into our radiator.
Check out this mummy from the 5th century. There's a, she was found in Russia. She has a tail.
Huh. Of a horse.
No, it looks like the Pokemon Source Book, but with flowers on it.
Oh, okay.
Bailey, leave him alone. No. I know you just want to chase him, but he doesn't want to be chased by you. No, he thinks you're going to eat him. Yeah. Bailey. No. Good girl. Sit. Sit. Good girl.
have to bend that a little bit further. That's all right.
This chick works on the cattle station as the cook. Oh, she makes some nice food.
Yeah.
Full English breakfast and nachos for lunch. Bailey? Leave him alone.
You'll have to go outside.
I don't think you want that. Oh, suck up to Dad.
Are you a small puppy?
Sit.
Okay.
Nothing now. No. Sit. Sit. Good girl. You the cat.
hope it's this version. I might need some network drivers.
Oh. Says you might get more room running this string under. That's how I ran mine for aesthetics. Maybe slightly affects airflow.
No, so it's the direction of the plug on the graphics card. So if I came in from underneath, the strimmer would be backwards. So you'd see the cable side, not the RGB side.
What do you mean?
WLAN. WLAN, the other one. WLAN plus BT. Scroll down, Windows 10.
Is 2.
Oh, this is 2?
11 or 11?
Oh yeah, they're Windows 10 as well. Just the Wi-Fi driver. That's fine. Oh, actually, give you this.
Fluffy Mal.
Sweet.
Bailey, do you have to go outside?
I think so.
You're being very Bailey. Yeah. So cute.
Alright, so we can start setting this up. Okay, so a few little apps that we install here. CPU Z tells you information about your computer. Crystal Disk Info tells you information about your storage devices. It'll tell you how much life they have left. Crystal Disk Mark allows you to test the speed of your storage devices. Firmark, this is just an app I use for the stress test. Okay.
That's a VGA working cable, isn't it? V2 VGA.
Yep, that's the one there. That's for 40 series. The 12 plus 4 pin version.
There's a couple of versions of this cable.
Yeah.
There's also this one. The first one.
There's the straight 12 plus 4.
Yeah.
Then there's the 888 to 12 plus 4. Then there's the 888 to 888.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're all made by Lian Li, but they're all slightly different.
Yeah, there's a few different versions of the same thing.
So you've probably got the same.
It's smart
but
marketing
it's
from
different.
Lian Li because it won't turn people off for not having the exact cable that they want. Bailey, outside. She said outside, didn't she? Bailey. Come on, Bailey. Come on. You're a good girl. Outside. Came in there to suck up to me. Oh, maybe.
When I say it in Spanish, he knows.
Maybe Dad'll save me. Maybe Dad'll save me. No, Dad agrees with Mum. I think we might have a short break while some of this crap downloads. So now's a good time to go grab a cuppa, grab an energy drink, go have a smoke, all that good stuff, okay? And then in, I don't know, in about 15 minutes or so, once a lot of this stuff's downloaded, yeah, we can have a look and see how she runs. So do I need to bend that cable further back, or is it all good? I still want to bend it a little bit further back, just so it's not pressing up so hard against the glass. Because I mean, it is a tight fit, but we've done them before. I might not play around with it too much while it's plugged in. I might do some magic on it. when it's not installed, when it's not running, I should say. Okay. Alright, so... Alright, well I'll be back. I'll be back in a short period of time. Just going to wait for some of this stuff to download. Okay. How are we looking now? Still looks like we're a little bit away. Need to organise internet on a plan tomorrow.
Make a candle out of butter and get like a loaf of bread that's rounded and then put the candle of butter in the middle of it to melt and dip that into.
Alright, so that's what we're waiting on. That screen will be pretty cool though. Okay. So now it's looking a little bit more done. All right. So finally, bloody hell, that was like 20 minutes or something. But we're now finally ready to do a restart. Okay, so let's set up MSI Afterburner and run our gaming benchmarks on this thing. So we are still doing some stuff in the background there, but realistically, it's not going to make much of a difference. So Ryzen loves fast memory, low latency memory, and that's what we've got here. So we have some of the second generation of DDR5. It's 6000 megahertz, but CL30. So none of that CL40 garbage. No offense to anyone who's got that. That's just first generation DDR5 speeds. It always gets better in time. It's the same with DDR4. Same thing happened. Okay, so let's start with Heaven. High, no anti-aliasing. And all this stuff on the screen, got our GPU, that's our ROG STRIX RTX 4090. 37 degrees, that's the GPU temperature. Usage there, 71 degrees, it's not even trying. Don't mind that dip there, it's just stuff going on in the background. We've got our our graphics card, our GPU speed and our wattage. We've got our memory, which is our VRAM usage and clock speed. We've got our CPU temperature, usage, clock speed, wattage. We've got our RAM usage there, and this number here is how many frames per second it's currently running at. Look at this frame rate, and it's not even utilizing 100% of the GPU. It's insane. It's not even trying. Not even trying. I knew it was going to be a late one tonight. Oh well. It is what it is. Work never ends around here. For me, oh. I got heaps going on. Alrighty, so that was Heaven there on high with no anti-aliasing. Alright, so I'm going to do a restart here. I'm going to make sure that all of our fans are set up correctly in BIOS, making sure we specify our DC versus PWM fans. So you got your 3-pin and your 4-pin. So your 3-pin is your DC, or voltage sometimes. It's the same thing. And the other one is PWM. That's the 4-pin one. So the 4-pin one, they can run slower than the 3-pin ones. Ah, oh, missed it. Great. Okay, so we still have an issue with one device, and it's the CPU onboard graphics. Now that shouldn't make any difference really, but I'd rather get everything installed. Yeah. Okay. And so while that's going on, we can run Valley. So Valley's a more demanding benchmark. We also run it on higher settings. So Ultra with max anti-aliasing. Alrighty, so that was Valley there on Ultra with max anti-aliasing. And finally, oh, no superposition. We can fix that. Okay, so we can run superposition here at 4K. Just wait for this to run through. Okay, so that's our 4K results in superposition. So let's have a quick look at our 7800X3D CPU. Yep, so we're at idle here. Alright. So this is not the be all and end all of all benchmarks. It's one benchmark. You gotta look at a whole heap of them. But basically this CPU is optimized for gaming in particular, whereas this is a more generalized benchmark. But anyway, I'm getting really tired, so let's start the stress test and I can sign off for the night. Set this up for a 90-minute run. Alright. Alright, so we log our temperatures here in hardware monitor. So how's everything looking? CPU, it's hot, but that's to be expected. And our graphics card, very, very cool. Very cool. Nah, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Alrighty, well, thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.